9.5% drop frame. Keeps going down.
Oh boy.
7%, 6%. 30 frames per second. Hello.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
I don't know. I don't know.
Little do you know, this is karaoke night at Esoteric Express. Because we can't talk about shit. And then
every time we talk about shit, it fucking dies. So I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, we're down to 2.5% drop rate, so
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's really good.
Oh,
we're all the way up to like 50% drop rates.
All right. So, should we even talk about numbers anymore, or should we go talk about this fucking bullshit?
All right, so I think this will probably hopefully carry us over. Let's restart the intro and then go into it, and then I can chop it from the screen.
All right. So, like, right now?
Yes, sir.
All aboard! The Esoteric Express. Wait, no, we're going to chop that one. All aboard the Esoteric Express. We're going to take a ride through your mind on the spooky side of the tracks. I'm Nick, this is Ant, this is take 47, and we're going to try to get it right.
Yep, ever since the Ouija board, man, technical difficulties have been a monk.
Yes. Electronical technical.
It's probably our boy Zozo trying to come through. You know. Thank you guys for sticking it out. I know it's kind of difficult watching the frames drop and stuff like that. So
we tried to talk about numbers, but we didn't get anywhere. The only numbers we got to talk about was the drop frame rates.
Yeah, so we'll start again, and so why are numbers important to you as far as being esoteric? Like, what makes them unique to a point where
because there's numbers coded into everything, whether it's like writings, teachings. People predict the future off of the numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers have meaning because numbers weren't created. Numbers were discovered.
Yeah.
So numbers hold weight in terms of anything in the world. Because who is that? I don't know the right names of people, but you've seen the thing I've seen about that one physicist that broke down that even like life is broken down into like computer coding. Almost.
Yeah, they kept looking. Then the deeper they get into it, that at the finite level, that it actually starts to look like program code.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of like number sequences that happen in the world that are that replicate, that happen over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred geometry. The Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, all these different sequences that keep repeating over and over in the world, and you kind of have to step back and think, what if, this was all just part of one big design, It's not just a random explosion that caused everything to happen.
No. There is no random. I don't buy that.
So apparently, mathematics is a language in which God has written the universe. That is what Galileo said, according to one of our viewers.
Yes.
So I mean, I could totally feel that. Everything has numbers to it, and the weird thing is like numbers have patterns, and patterns are everywhere as well. And earlier when we were doing the podcast, we were having issues. One of the things I kept telling you is like when I would wake up in the middle of the night and have a bad dream, I'd always end up waking up at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the witching hour apparently. Or every time I would like look at the clock or something like that, there would be like 12:12 or 3:33.
Yeah.
Like repeating numbers or repeating sequences that keep happening. And I'm wondering if, that's just like the base programming like having issues, or maybe certain stuff happens on certain dates.
Alright, so this All right, so you know how it's like you say you wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But how do we know when the real 3 a.m. is? Because the entire world doesn't share the same time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
No,
like,
very true.
but I feel like since time is a man-made concept, time isn't real.
Yeah.
So that's just our measure of something that we gave a name to.
No, very true. But the opposite side of it is we also gave the number 3 to the number 3. You know what I'm saying? We gave it that actual name. So even though time is a man construct, like the perversion of it or whatever that they talk about for the witching hour is 3 is the Trinity, which is sacred to Christianity. The opposite of that would be 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever, would be the opposite time that is supposedly that home dude died. Allegedly, if we go down the Christianity path.
We can't go down that path. There's not enough facts behind that.
There
There isn't. I can't listen to that shit. I don't want to hear it.
But you
I'm getting angry.
Though, like
that's my trigger.
Yeah, that's my trigger word. But the sequences and the numbers and stuff like that, where certain numbers hold meaning. Some numbers hold power, and maybe it's not the Christian side of it. Maybe the number 3 is just a powerful number.
Yeah.
And we had talked about before we were dropping packets earlier. Like 3, 6, and 9 were very powerful numbers.
Yeah.
Even my address is the sum of 9.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something where those numbers always seem to pop up in life.
Right.
And the weird part about it is, if you start doing the math, 3 plus 3 is 6.
Mm-hmm.
3 plus 6 is 9. 3 plus 9 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3.
Yeah.
Everything keeps repeating itself.
Everything comes back to 9.
And it's one of those weird sequences. And they have there's this guy in the UK. He does these walks where he has 2 dice,
mm-hmm.
and it's all like random things that you. I forget what he calls. Eric, do you know the name of what that walk was called again? But anyway, so he goes and he takes a group of people and they follow like the White Rabbit or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and it's all by chance and all by numbers and just giving into the pattern or the synchronicity walk. So they do these synchronicity walks where, depending on what happens at random, like they'd be like, they'll roll a number and be like, okay, we're looking for something with the number 9
mm-hmm.
on it, or the number 4 or whatever. They walk by, they see number 4 on a sign, then they hang out on the sign until they see something next.
Yeah.
It's very interesting that that numbers can actually tie into that. We were talking about the computer program earlier,
right?
So it's.
I want to do that now.
The synchronicity.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get. That's what we'll do on our next live. We'll do a synchronicity walk.
Okay.
We'll do a ghetto one. So we'll try to get some volunteers, go down to downtown Houston with a couple of dice, and just see where the synchronicity takes us. But you truly have to let go and just look for the signs.
Okay.
And it's crazy because the video is like an hour long, and they're walking through like UK, and they end up down in the tubes or whatnot, the subway, and
the tubes.
Yeah. But they end up chasing. Not chasing. They end up following these people for a while.
Yeah.
And it's so unique, and like they'll be like, okay, we're looking for the number 4. Then they're like, platform 4. Oh, okay. The next train arrives in 3 minutes. Like stuff like starts.
It goes into it develops a pattern.
Yeah. So that's something we'll have to do, because 1, we don't have to worry about Zozo. 2, we can get multiple streams on it and get going. And number 3, we can bust out the new technology. You want to show our followers our new technology?
Oh my god! I swear to God, we are not bringing this out in public.
1970.
This is what I'm gonna go film 1980s fucking porn with this shit. Welcome to my casting couch.
The esoteric.
Don't mind my fucking ass tickler on the tip of this camera. Like, I don't know.
If you guys want to come along with this on the synchronicity walk, that'd be totally awesome. Yeah. But numbers are everywhere, and it's super interesting to see the different synchronicities out there. One of the things that I've always thought was interesting is like the golden ratio, like how everything always comes back to that golden ratio.
Pi.
The Fibonacci
Fucking
sequence,
pi.
yeah.
Everything always comes back to pi.
Yeah.
But
I like cake better, but
no, pi is the truth. Does peach cobbler count as pie?
I don't know. Cobbler pie, maybe.
Well, I'll stick to pie as the truth.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's just, I mean, the repeating of numbers it makes you wonder if this wasn't, and this is something we could talk about on a different subject, is if it's not just one big simulation, like the simulation theory that.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Tune in next week where I shoot myself.
We're kidding. Don't demonetize us.
Did you get demonetized over that?
Probably.
Come on now. I'm doing it for science.
You talk about the G word and they're like, oh, we're demonetizing you.
I didn't say God.
No, I'm talking about gun.
Oh. Pistel. I don't think a pistel to the face.
My birthday is Pi Day. Nice. 314.
Yeah, figures your birthday is Pi Day.
Wait, I never know like which one is him. If that's
Russ.
Well, I don't know if it's him or if it's his mom though, because they share the accounts. So.
I thought the other one was the other name that I thought was the guy. Remember I kept saying him?
Oh, him, yeah.
And then she got mad.
Yes. What?
Because I didn't know who that was.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I thought that was a guy.
Dubai's Wolf.
Yeah, I thought that was a guy for like 3 episodes. I never realized that was her.
I did too. I thought, honestly, I thought that was like one of Homegirl's stalkers that she got. I was like, oh, okay.
Until I finally read the comments. I'm a girl. Okay.
Did you just assume my race?
There's only 2 races. Genders, not races.
2 genders?
Yeah, you said
There's
races.
technically 3 though.
3?
Because hermaphrodite is technically 1.
That's a real thing?
Yeah. There are people that are born with them. And then
Wait.
say 3, and the numbers come back. There we go. Everything's full circle.
That's more of a circle with a fucking point at the end.
God. Thanks. Wow. Okay. Go
3.
on.
You got that. 1,
1,
2, 3. 3.
Oh goodness.
5, 6 slaps.
Demonetized, exactly. Well, fortunately, we have to get more stuff done on YouTube before we can demonetize ourselves. But we're working on it really hard before we can start.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Would I last on YouTube? There are only 2 genders demonetized.
So going back to
Numbers.
And let's go back to like vortex math for a little bit.
Alright, that shit crazy.
Yeah.
That shit, I can't even draw it. But it makes sense because everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Yeah.
That's
simplest way fucking put, and if you understand that after seeing it, it will make all the sense to you.
Well, let's break it down.
Pull it up?
Like,
because I don't know how to draw it actually. Because you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, yeah, I got you. While I'm prepping my screen for that, because I have to hide all my,
Vortex math
images.
is the only math you should learn. Because every other math is bullshit. Demonetized. I may or may not eat this Jolly Rancher. Do you have some dice I can roll for this? To synchronize the Jolly Rancher to my mouth?
Alright, I'm trying to go... Like, you're talking about the 2 triangles, right?
Mm-hmm. The triangle that's upside down and the other one that goes, like, it overlaps, like a Venn diagram. and then it
Yeah.
connects the lines to the numbers, and the 9 is in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, this is close to it. Can't find the exact one.
I try to do it with my hands, and I on the.
That's my gang sign right there.
Did you just see it happen? No, when I was doing it with my hands,
No.
I was trying to make the Venn diagram and circle, and then connecting the points.
All right, let me move this over. And move this over.
How old are you, Jolly Ranchers?
I don't know. You're the only one who thinks this stuff.
We're old.
Okay, I don't know why it has this advertisement on the side, but you know what? We'll just let it roll.
There's another ad?
No, there's a. Whoops. I want to do a scene. You'll see in a second. What's going on with our stuff?
Is it fucking up again?
I'm
I'm tired of this shit fucking up, man.
No. The frame rates are not dropping. It's
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I need to go to the editor. There we go.
I just want to talk to the peoples.
We just want to talk to you guys.
Yep, all 5 of us hanging out, eating ramen,
Smoking ramen.
smoking ramen, stabbing Chinese people. You guys know. You remember. Yeah, you remember. Should we just film from like random places we go?
We should. We really should. Oh wait, no. That cancel.
Live from the gym.
Live from the gym.
Watch
Hold
me.
on.
Watch me leg press 900 pounds and see if my shit
The
collapses.
leg snaps backwards.
Yes. Did it fucking
There we go.
win?
Display capture. No, I'm haven't done.
You're
this
black.
There we go. Done. All right. So vortex math.
Boom. That's exactly what I made with my hands.
So
As you can see.
So we'll break it down. So, if you look to like what?
All right, so
I'll let you start with it.
All right, so we'll start from the 1. 1 plus 5 equals 6. 2 plus 4 equals 6. 4 plus 8 equals 12, but that's 1 plus 2 equals 3.
Mm-hmm.
5 plus 7 equals 12 as well, and that's still 1 plus 2 equals 3.
Yep.
And then the 3, the 6, and the 9 always equal each other. That's why that stays out of the mix.
Yeah.
And then you go at the bottom, you got 5 and 4 for 9. 2 and 4, 6. 1 and 2, 3. Hold on, I lost my
8 and 1, 9, 7.
8. Oh yeah, 8 and 1, 7 and 2. Oh yeah, you
6
go
and
across
3,
6 and
5
3,
and
9. Everything comes back to 9. How to apply this to real life shit? I don't know how.
Yeah. But you know who was super obsessed with vortex math?
Who?
Nikola Tesla.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was.
He would always do stuff in numbers of threes. He even said if you found the power between the numbers
6 and 9.
6 and 9, that
you would unlock the secrets of the universe. He did said that though. I remember.
Yeah. So.
I didn't make that up. It's somewhere online. It's the internet. It's there.
Look it up.
Look it up.
But yeah, vortex math is pretty interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this for now.
Goodbye, Vortex.
So.
But Tesla was on to some shit though, with not just the vortex math, but with everything he was doing, because he was, I think, one of the first like non-military scientists to use ley lines as foundation points of his laboratories to get more. It was supposed to support more energy if he built a lab on the ley line. You never heard that?
No.
You know what the ley lines are?
No, yeah, I know what ley lines are, but like I didn't know.
Yeah, Wardenclyffe was on a ley line.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Ah.
See?
But I think he was the first non-military based scientist that did that, because all our military bases are actually that are overseas are all placed strategically on ley lines as well. Did you know that one?
Ley lines. No.
Ley lines are military base. Every military base overseas is on a ley line.
Let me see if I can get some images of this.
Yeah, like you should be able to pull up the full map with that. Because that's some shit. Everyone knows about this shit. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, that's something I actually did not know anything about.
Yeah, and then as far as the ley lines though, like common knowledge, all of like the ancient structures and everything that like the pyramids to like the ziggurats and all that crap. Even the stone faces on Easter Isle, they're all connected on the ley lines. Like you can go one point to the next point to the next point. Even the stuff in where is that? Where's that big temple? Thailand. You know, the big temple. I think it's Thailand.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head.
But you know what I'm talking about, though. Right?
Yeah,
that's somewhere in Thailand. Like every ancient structure, temple, pyramid, fucking altar to like the gods and everything. Everything is on a ley line.
Oh, you know what? I wonder.
Oh, even Coral Castle, the little place in Florida where that dude said he knew how the Egyptians made the pyramids, and he was able to construct entire castle made out of coral by himself with like some of the coral blocks weighing over like a ton, and he was able to move the shit by himself.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I figured out the technology that they used in order to do that." So, and that must be tying it into the ley lines as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, it has something to do with that, which I would like. I want to fucking out of all the times I've been in Florida, I've never gone to that place, and I always tell myself, that shit's only like 7 hours away. I should just go one day. And I never did it. And I regret that shit now. And I'm running out of time.
It's in Miami, right?
About an hour. It's in Homestead, Florida. It's about an hour and a half outside of Miami. I think it's more south, like towards the Keys.
Okay.
But
I'll turn this back on real quick.
Where I was living, like...
this is the Coral Castle that they have.
I want to fucking go there.
Yeah. So...
Prepare to be amazed, everybody.
Amazed.
Show them some pictures.
That's what I'm looking at. There we go.
Oh, and then that's another thing too. He has a Saturn sculpture built. The moon, and the planets.
So he built all of these corals by himself, like all of these structures.
Built and moved them shits and stacked them by himself.
Yeah.
He only worked at night. And he did not have anyone else work with him. And at first, he constructed this spot, the whole site, somewhere else before moving it to the new site.
That's crazy.
But
he also has like some moon
it's like a sundial.
Sundial, yeah. That's crazy. Look how big that thing is. Kind of reminds me of those structures down in South America.
Yeah, where they met like the you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where they were mapping the stars and everything.
Yeah.
For the equinoxes and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically recreated all of that shit by himself though. And the dude was only like 5'3".
And it looks like, they showed like some basic like chain and pulley system.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, that's the only thing that was left behind that wasn't taken after he died.
But look, he has like some. I know it's a little bit delayed. They have bottles that are wrapped in coil and stuff like that. I wonder if he's using some sort of like electromagnetism or something like that.
That's what one of the like theories were to like. He was using magnetism to move the blocks. Like he would magnetize the blocks, and it would be like it would create like an a non-gravity field around certain points where he would be able to move the blocks around.
That's crazy.
That was one of the theories I had read about that.
It's just crazy. Like he specifically has different stuff labeled out, and it looks interesting. And what if he did crack the code?
Yeah, and he died with the secret, just like Tesla.
But the question is, if you knew this stuff, why wouldn't you share it?
Well, this was, I think, like in the 20s, 30s. Like this was early on.
Yeah.
When a lot of people were coming up with technology that all of a sudden got suppressed as time went by. Like,
yeah.
back in those days, that was when people were coming up with like the water-powered engines and shit.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy that drove across the whole country on a water-powered engine.
Oh yeah.
And then,
but the thing is, like, in this is starting to get into my passion is, they like to suppress technology because there's more money in making, people think that we're going to go after a scarcity item like oil. But what if oil is not just, fossilized dinosaurs? I mean, that'd be a shitload of dinosaurs that have to die in order to produce all this oil. What if oil is just as natural as water is to Earth, and it's just a spring and you just tap into it, But they have to make it scarce. So
that's the same thing with. You can even say that for diamonds. Diamonds is not a scarce commodity, but it's sold as one, and people think.
Oh yeah, and they hold it back, as far as distribution of it.
And then when you buy it, it loses all value because it's pretty worthless as is. It's just another rock.
Yeah.
But it's marketed as something else.
Yeah. No, that's it's suppression of technology is a real thing, and I think it has a lot to do with greed, a lot to do with this. But the thing is, even with all the suppression of technology, we're still moving breakneck speed to some crazy shit, and I think we're moving really fast towards AI, and we may have already hit AI, and who knows? We could have just the iPhone 1 was our first AI unit.
But I think we hit the fork, and from suppressing something, a lot of this stuff, we took the other road, and that road is what's eventually going to end us all. That's how I feel.
It very well could.
Because I know, not like magic and shit like that I'm talking about, but more like on the, like holistic shit and natural stuff and working technology to bettering everybody as a whole instead of bettering people that have money. Because that's technology leads to bettering people that have money. And those people with money can buy more technology. And they'll have an upper hand. But prior to that fork, when stuff started getting suppressed and people were going the greed path, it was more of like, what can we do that's going to benefit everybody together? Like, people were moving more towards like the spirituality side of helping each other and seeing each other advance instead of like cornering the market and taking off from there. Because that's another thing, how Tesla lost out to Edison, because Edison came up with some kind of, what was it, not the AC current, was the AC current?
He was either, I don't remember if he's back to AC or the DC.
He did the shittier current
I think it was,
would wear out faster.
I think it was the DC is when he backed the direct current, and
Tesla had the alternating current. But Tesla had, there was something I read that Tesla came up with a light bulb that wouldn't burn out, but that wouldn't be profitable.
So Tesla's alternating current system, or Edison's DC current. So it's, and he electrocuted a freaking elephant to prove that Tesla's AC was worse than the DC current. But then that's why you see the picture of him in the middle of the room with the Tesla coil with electricity going around there, because he's showing how safe it is. And how he had plans of building, free energy essentially by, putting, again, go back to the pyramids, putting certain things in certain areas to direct the electric grid around the world.
It was supposed to absorb it through the air, the electric current through the air, and amplify it and send it through the ground. And, or vice versa, through the ground, through the air. It was like the whole project was pretty much an alternating current because it was going both ways. But they shut that shit down real quick because that would give everybody equal ground to have something, and it wouldn't be something that they couldn't sell specifically for people that had money.
There wouldn't be no superior U.S. with our certain technology if we're giving it all to third world countries. Then everybody would agree at the same time.
But all right, so speaking on third world countries, but like even nowadays, like Akon doing all that shit, giving like what was it, like 3 million people in Africa fucking lights and shit. Like, it's not that hard to do it.
Yeah.
But just choose not to.
Yeah, it's it comes down to like nationalism and stuff like that. You don't want as like a first world country, we're always competing to be like the best that we can as far as technology. Being
But we
ahead of
outsource
everybody.
all the people anyway and take them from other countries.
Well, very true. The U.S. is definitely a consumer-based nation, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to say is like you always want to be the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to be subservient to whoever is the best. Like I
I don't know
hate
about
to say
nowadays.
it, but right now U.S. is number one. Everybody else has to do and say what we tell them to do because no one else has a good enough army to tell us no.
All they have to do is come together and stomp us out. It's not that hard, but people won't do it.
I mean, we have quite a bit of nukes, so it's like the dead man switch. Like, hey, we're gonna go down, you're gonna go down, we'll all go down, and take us back to the Stone Age. So, which is probably what happened to Atlantis. So, it. But going back to it, there's little incentive to raise up everybody at the same time because then it would slow the progress of those people at the top, and that's just greed speaking, across the board. But I do know people who are willing to like build themselves up at whatever cost and not pull other people up. So at a very micro scale that happens, and then you just put that on the macro scale where they want this country to be number one, etc. And do our way or the highway.
I feel like that's just too much, keeping everyone distracted. Like, I still feel like if everyone came together, there'd be a way faster advancement for things.
Yeah, well, and that's why.
Like, if everyone was building to the same goal.
What you're trying to say is you are advocating a one world government. Then.
Yeah.
A new world order?
No, because the people that want that shit is not the right people to be in charge of it.
Okay. But who? So, and I'll just say, I'll ask you like this: is people are complaining that Donald Trump has so much power right now, but he was elected.
Yeah.
Whether you like him or not, he beat out the other person.
Right.
So
the other person was the evil vampire.
Yeah. But who would you trust? Like, people don't trust him with all that power. Who would you trust? And Dubai's Most Wanted, the stalker of Lily TV is back in the chat. But who would you trust if they don't trust one person with all this power? You're giving everybody the power. Who would you trust with that amount of power?
The fucking AI that's gonna run us anyway.
Yeah, our Google overlords. Tell me.
The reptilian overlords that live underground.
Now we've already established.
Oh, hold on. Time out. That it made me think of something else.
Ted Cruz.
No, not just Ted Cruz. No, besides Ted Cruz. Fuck. So there was. I think it was in like Samaria or something. I'm talking. All right, this is up your alley with your fucking aliens and all that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Anunnakis and crap.
Anunnaki.
Yeah, whatever. That one. But so I was just watching this shit the other night too, because insomnia is a bitch.
Yeah.
So.
You can only watch porn for so long.
I know, man. I did my forearm workout already. Like, I gotta watch something for the brain now, not this. Anyway, they were talking about how, like, in Samaria, they had their leader, the Anunnaki people, was like reptilian-like.
Yeah.
And they supposedly had blue blood because their blood was copper-based, not iron-based. And then the blue-blooded people moved into Europe. And then I remember something else saying back in the day, like, white people, you people, weren't a natural occurrence.
Yeah.
White people just popped up.
Yeah.
And then it's saying the blue-blooded people from the Mesopotamia area moved into Central Europe.
Yeah.
And then I was wondering if the timeline's connected, and that's boom, white people popped up.
I have heard. It's very interesting that there are stories, and if you took it from a very primitive person trying to expand and talk about like DNA and cloning, etc.
Yeah.
Like there definitely are stories where ancient Sumerians were talking about essentially gene splicing, cloning,
and genetic editing,
and injecting their DNA into different ethnicities, etc. And to try to get a pure subrace. That's why there's evidence of the Neanderthals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That could have just been genetic experience, like, oh hey, this didn't work, so let's try this.
Yeah.
Let's try this, and then there's a whole story about the Tower of Babel. That's how before then everybody looked alike, and then the Tower of Babel was there, and then they were like, oh no, you guys are getting too crude.
Fuck y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna make y'all let's speak different languages and separate you guys. No, I think it was more of how they explained it in Mesopotamia.
Or here I'll throw you a curveball theory that I just came up with in my head.
What's that?
What if the Tower of Babel shit wasn't just people just speaking different languages? What if Tower of Babel, everybody was on that global consciousness where nobody spoke? They spoke through telepathy and emotions, like animals communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And they cut the link. Then everybody just didn't know how to talk to nobody no more.
Yeah.
I'm coming up. I got you. I'll be thinking about this shit right now.
And then it also could be that the whole Tower of Babel was just a way to explain an alien ship,
Or the Tower of Babel just didn't meet the golden ratio and they couldn't build it right. Numbers.
They kept going to the sky.
They were supposed to spiral down, not up.
Yeah, and then they found out that the Earth is flat.
And they hit the dome. And that's why the tower collapsed.
Yep.
Fucking case closed.
I wonder if random people watch this, they're like, do these people really believe this? Yeah.
Oh, take the shit off. Put me on camera so they can see how fucking sincere I am about talking this shit.
I thought we had that back on here. Let me hide this.
Nah, let them walk in on me talking about how they built the Tower of Babel and they hit the fucking dome. And then that's how language was created.
I didn't even know. You're looking up.
No, I just noticed the thing because I saw that fucking the Coral Castle shit stuff. So I thought we was frozen for a minute, but
no.
Yeah, I thought we was having the problems again. I thought everything was about to black out.
Lord Zozo.
Nah, man. Ted Cruz.
Lord Ted Cruz.
What else you got on numbers?
Okay, so going back to it.
Off topic.
Kind
of went far off topic.
Yeah. So another one is like the Fibonacci sequence, right? And the golden ratio.
Pi.
What are your thought processes about that?
It's weird.
Well, okay.
No. All right, so like the pi shit, 3.14, right?
Yeah.
So hold on, never mind. That didn't add up in my head. I was like, does 3.14 equal 9? It doesn't. It equals 8. But the only thing I really know about that, like the golden ratio, the Fibonacci shit, is like everything in nature has
3.141.
Oh, it does make 9.
Boom. I'm just saying. It all makes sense now. So.
Oh, and isn't something about something involving that is supposed to equal like to the speed of light, or to like this is the measurement of the Earth is all found with that too? Or is that the thing with the pyramid? No, I'm thinking of the thing of pyramids.
Yeah,
never mind.
The pyramids.
My bad. I got it mixed up. What you looking at?
Just some interesting facts about.
Start spitting some facts.
So, we're gonna have a game, and you guys are gonna like Guess how many I'm gonna say in one chat.
Yo, if we ever played a game to take a shot to how many times you say I'd be fucking dead again. Then I'd rise back from the dead and die a third time. So, let's see what I'm talking about. I got back to 3.
So, like, the Fibonacci sequence is related to the golden ratio.
Yes.
The two quantities are said to be in golden ratio if a plus b divided by a equals a divided by b, where a is less than b and b is less than 0. Or a is greater than b is greater than 0. So.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
I have no idea what I said either, but it sounds so.
You sounded smart for a minute, then I kind of tuned you out.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what about the tree of life and the like the sacred geometry and Kabbalah and shit?
Okay, let's talk about the tree of
life is important. That goes hand in hand with all this other shit with the numbers. Cause like, what's it like 13 circles or 12 circles? 12 circles? 13? I forget. You're the info digger.
You're going too fast.
I'm just
well. The thing is, like, when you do it, you have to like search for the.
Alright, I do one, you do one. Alright, hold on. Tree life.
It's 1, 2, 3,
I think
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Oh, even better. It's 9 circles? Really?
Yep.
I thought it was more.
Actually, I'm gonna put this up here.
Are you gonna put it up there?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It's so small, I can't see it now. 1, 2, oh. No, that's 3, 6. That's 10.
Is it 10? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you got the bottom
5,
one.
6, 7, 8, 9.
10. The bottom one. 3, 6.
Yeah. I went to public school, apparently.
I was like, it's 10. I see 10 fucking circles. What are you talking about?
It says down here 10 separate. So.
Well, another demonetizing statement by myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only cool thing Jews have besides saving money.
It isn't even like the entire like Jewish tradition. It's only like certain,
That's their like secret mystery schools. Like the Kabbalah shit to the Jews is like the Gnostic shit to the Catholics or Christians or whatever.
Well, a Christian also has the Christian Kabbalah.
They do?
Then, yeah.
Oh, motherfuckers be copying everybody, huh?
Kabbalah. Yeah. I mean, the Tree of Life definitely is that symbol is around a lot. I'm trying to find a translated version of the Tree of Life.
Oh, like what those little fucking Hebrew splashes say?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Jew.
I want to say something, but like.
Go ahead and say it. I say enough.
There we go. So,
are you pulling it back up? Because I don't see enough.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
So we're able to find. So Ancient of Days, knowledge is in the middle, beauty, relationship, sovereignty, victory, loving kindness,
victory,
wisdom, understanding.
Yeah.
So how does the Kabbalah work? Do you know?
Do you see a yarmulke
Or
on my head?
Tree of Life? No,
I don't fucking know, man. That was just a wing fucking like topic. Like I'm winging this shit.
So
I don't know a goddamn thing about this. I just know it pops up in a lot of like stuff involving sacred geometry, numbers. Cause the only thing I know about the Kabbalah is like everything that's written is basically translated to like a numeric pattern or an equation or something within their writing. That's all I know.
So the tree represents a series of divine emanations of God's creations itself. And the nature of this is revealed through the divinity, the human soul, and the spiritual path by way of ascending by man, in a way that Kabbalists developed the symbol into a full model of reality, using the tree to depict a map of creation. So that's what they use it for, apparently. And there's 10 spiritual principles, but 11 can be shown, since Keter and Dot are interchangeable. I have no idea what it means.
Nah, because I just laughed because my boy used to work in a little Jew place, right? Where he used to do the embroideries on the yarmulke and the little scarves and shit.
Yeah.
And like the fucking names of people he would tell me that he did for Yeeter and shit like that.
Yeeter,
I should call that motherfucker right now. He might be at work doing some Jew shit right now.
So the true knowledge is
Tree of life.
Or no, I know. It was in the true knowledge of good and evil is equivalent to the 10 spheres seen in the diagram. And the tree of life is equivalent to the 10 spheres seen in the middle sphere.
So do you think
of the diagram.
that since this is, before secret teachings or whatever with their 10 spheres of living life and shit, you think the 10 commandments is just a fucking ripoff of that?
Well, 10 is the sum of 1 through 9, so
that's what I'm saying.
It could be, something that the 10 commandments is actually pretty much written or taken from the. God, I don't remember that off the top of my head. The Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead.
Was it? I don't think so. No.
I think it's from the Book of the
Really?
Dead. Yeah.
I never heard that one. Yeah, left you clicking, clacking away on the keyboard. Yeah. I've never heard that before. 10 Commandments derived from the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
Was it?
They're pretty similar, yeah.
But I was just kind of bringing up the numbers point.
Yeah, it is the Book of the Dead. That the 10 Commandments are almost like lifted straight from the Book of the Dead.
A lot of shit was lifted out of Egypt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, going back to Horus, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of shit was lifted out of Egypt.
But all this stuff apparently happened in there because that ancient land, Mesopotamia, that's where
everything
was
supposedly started.
Yeah.
That whole, well, not in Egypt, but like across the water.
Yeah. Well, and the cradle of civilization right there.
Well, is the fucking Mediterranean.
Yeah. But, I mean, that area, Anunnaki, creation.
Are you gonna do
aliens?
Only when you're on camera you
aliens.
can do that shit. You won't go to the camera and do that shit. Do the aliens.
No.
He said nah.
Nah. We did get our special camera in. That
I'm not picking up that shit ever again. Maybe one more time. Who wants to see the special camera? I couldn't believe this shit when I walked in here. That was what all the fucking hype was about?
Yep.
1980s vintage fucking casting couch camera.
Casting couch camera.
CCC TV. What else you pulling up? I don't know.
Aliens.
Motherfucker. I was just waiting for it to pop up. I was like, what is it? What is happening?
You got a little delay.
It's up like upside. What? Earlians?
Earlians. Australians. Yeah, see? Then how did we build everything?
Oh,
I didn't even question,
God.
but the answer is aliens. That's why I'm gonna leave it on.
Man, oh man. When are we gonna do an aliens episode for you?
We should. To be honest, for the very longest time, I didn't believe in aliens at all.
And what happened? You got abducted and probed?
Probably. At least that's what Steve said.
Oh, Steve's better than Al.
Al thick and hearty.
Oh, Jesus.
Horse. Because he was thick and hearty.
Anyway.
He was number one.
Yo, I had to Google what his real name was. I was telling my old girl about because she do the SpongeBob shit.
Oh.
And she was like, well, if he was number one, what the fuck was his name? And I was like, I don't remember.
Oh, it was like something.
Oh, I got it. I had Smitty Werben Jaegerman Jackson.
It was his hat. He was number one.
Nobody has any idea what we're talking about right now. Ow, shit. Wrist is still fucked up.
Yep.
That car shouldn't ask for a fight.
Oh wait, did I?
Smitty Werbin, Jaegerman, Jensen.
It's probably not gonna go.
Soda drink hat to its original owner, Smitty Werbin Jaegerman Jensen.
They're probably gonna mute that shit out, though.
There is no Smitty Werbin Jiggerman Jensen.
Oh.
Sure there is. He's buried out in Floater Cemetery.
How did I just did it? I would give me that shovel.
It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was number 1.
See, numerology. He was
number one.
Oh goodness.
Jesus Christ.
Going back to it though.
All right, Smitty, what do you have for me?
For a very long time, I didn't believe in aliens and stuff like that. But what actually
That's
did
what
kind
we're
of
talking about.
what did kind of like tip the scale is when they started discovering like water and life, etc., or the byproducts of life, and they're like saying all these different habitable planets are within. Habitable. That's a hard word when you're not thinking about it. There's all these habitable life or habitable Earths, planets that are similar to Earth that are actually within distance of us to travel to. Not in my lifetime, probably, but in my child's lifetime, that they potentially could travel to, depending on how advanced technology goes and how long they'll allow Trump to be president. If he's allowed to be president for another 100 years, then
if the president's allowed to be Trump for 100 years.
So, one thing we have to do is like the time travel.
Time travel
is a subject I'd love to talk about because
right.
there's actually
pictures.
There's actually a book, just kind of a teaser, that predicted the Trump's presidency, and
so
even
the Simpsons,
and even Trump's son's name, because he was both in the book, and the exact name was given of his son. It's pretty creepy. So, but going back to it, like the if you start thinking how big the solar system is, and the universe, and the galaxy, etc., and then we keep pulling back, that with all of this space, it's hard to believe that we're the only people out there. And then to believe that not only that we're the only living organisms out there, but the only intelligent ones, I find it highly unlikely. So.
All right, so, but in that kind of thinking, with the delay in between sending out signals, because if there's anyone more advanced than us, our shit is outdated. Yeah. But our they could be picking up on our shit, but they're like, yo, it's like, that's so below us. So. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is like, we're like, oh, this is as advanced as it gets, our radio signals is as good as it gets, and this is as fast as the stuff that can go out there. But then you turn around and be like, in 10 years, our technology evolves, and now we're talking about using different methods of transmission, etc. But
I still think the zoo theory is what's in effect.
And go break that
where we, as a race, are like an experiment that they're watching, but we haven't got to the point where they would want to interact, and they rather just see how we progress.
I have heard that, and there are definitely instances where there's like UFO sightings over like nuclear testing sites and stuff like that, where they would start the launch of a missile and then disable it all in one like setting. Yeah. So maybe they are like testing to see like how we are, and then you have to figure that all of a sudden we were going from this horse and buggy to barely making cars to all of a sudden we're making computers, and advancements in technology goes through the roof. Shortly after, Roswell, and who knows if there was actually a crash. When they come out and say, "Oh yeah, there was a crash," and then there's not a crash, it's kind of suspicious. And not to get too far off the subject, but anytime that we are told not to believe one thing, I immediately want to believe the opposite of it.
The whole sleight of hand shit.
Yeah, it's like And then that's why, nowadays I don't trust anything anybody tells me unless it's like something that, I in fact spend my time looking it up.
Yourself.
Yeah. So.
All right. So
I'm not saying
I'm
aliens,
definitely
but
gonna go ahead and say next fucking week or whenever we do this shit again. I don't know. Wednesday, whenever that is.
Yep.
We'll do time travel, aliens, paranoia, unreasonable paranoia.
And we will be doing meth online. No, I'm playing. That's what we've been working at the gym for, to get the blood vessels going. So,
yeah.
But no, it's something I could talk about for a very long time, and like the theories behind it. But
I think.
But then again, it could all just be a computer simulation, and everything is based within numbers, and our destiny is pre-programmed. Going back to the whole synchronicity walk, which we'll have to do like on a Saturday or Sunday.
Synchronicity.
Everything is.
I just pictured like someone saying synchronicity, and it just echoing through other people saying it, like as it goes off into the distance. I don't know why. That's what came to my head when I heard that word.
Actually, I'll pull this up and
synchronicity.
And since it was able to play sound, was that echoing on the sound or anything, guys?
Hello, people.
Don't look at the trip part.
The what part? Synchronicity. I got 16.
Okay, good evening, everybody. So come right on in. Okay, so anybody here? Is this your first walk for anybody?
So
about half of you. Great stuff. That's the whole idea of these walks, is to let go of the control so we can enter these flow states.
Go with the flow. That's how
In my little bag of magic tricks, we've got an 8-ball.
An 8-ball?
In this bag, and I'll have everybody now and again just choose 2 dice. There's 3 dice in the bag. Corner. Every time we get somewhere where there's more than one direction, then we dip into the bag, you pull out 2 dice of the 3, and if it's these 2 dice, then we roll them on the ground, and this gives us our directions. So let's say there's 4 possible directions. Then 1 through 3 would be that direction, 4 through 6 would be straight, and so on. We'll go in clockwise order. Now, let's say you pull out one of these 2 dice. So what we then do, we've got writing on each side. So this one says back. That says first left. FWR, follow the white rabbit. Okay? So a white rabbit is anybody that's suddenly walking by, like see this guy over here with the cane and the tie-dye? He's very, that stands out straight away. So we'd start to follow them without them knowing that we're following them. Pardon? That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. You're right. Well spotted. And then let's say when we roll this dice with it, so we roll these at the same time, if it comes up with a 3, then we would follow them for 3 minutes. Okay? And the idea is we're not to let them know that we're following us, okay? So every now and again our cover does get blown, and then we have to be sort of like... But every now and again it does happen where they realize they're being followed. So first left, follow the white rabbits, forward, first right, back. Okay, so if we roll back and say a 2, then we have to walk in the same direction we just came from for 2 minutes. Okay? So this is generally how we do it. This just takes away all need to try to control the outcome of the walk, because I find when we truly learn how to let go and get in that flow, anything can happen.
Synchronicity, click. Click.
All right. So, synchronicity walk
It's definitely going to be on the schedule.
I find the walk, by giving all control to chance and the dice, it starts to recalibrate our nervous system, and we start to feel more like our true selves 10, 15, 20 minutes into the walk, because we're not trying to control it. We're going with that flow, and it just feels more natural. Got me?
Got you.
So there's no plan as such to the walk.
No plan.
No plan. That's how I live my
And
life.
there's no rules.
That's
How I live my life.
True synchronicity is an acausal phenomena. where you're dealing with a phenomena that's beyond just this time and space domain. You're perhaps dealing with other lifetime stuff. You're dealing with synchronicities that could have been triggered on another dimensional level of reality by a guide or whatnot. So this might be beyond cause and effect as you can be aware of it. Does that make sense? Great.
All right, I don't want to watch no more of this shit.
What we do at the beginning of the walk is we roll.
Is fucking burnt.
The long story short is, and I'll link this video in the description below. They go on the walk, and as you see, stuff starts clicking, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, we go here for 3 minutes, and then we look for the number 4.
Yeah.
They walk for 3 minutes, and all of a sudden there's a sign with the number 4 on it, and then they wait for the next thing to happen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it lasts a freaking long time,
I'm down to try that shit.
Okay. So we'll definitely make one of our next trips to be a synchronicity walk. So.
Synchronicity, I'm down. Ugh.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, I think
it's about that time.
Yep, I think we hit that mile and the mile marker, and screen goes out.
Well, shit, fuck. Everything just went black.
So
I don't even know if we're still recording.
We'll probably are. Let's go ahead and do the outro, and we'll get.
No, I think we just died.
There we go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Good. I don't have an outro. I just tell people listen, guys. Train has pulled into the station for the night. I have no more shit to talk. We have covered our topics. Yo, really, everything is bugging out.
Yeah.
Everything is bugging out.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow.
We should totally take a picture.
You're not even touching shit.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna let you go. We'll talk to y'all later.
All right, yeah. Train pulled into the station, guys. Good night. Everything is fucking up, so I think it's a good time to call it.
We'll see you guys Wednesday.
Wednesday for aliens, time travels, and what I say? Something else.
Craziness.
Yeah, general craziness. Good night.
Can't even stop the stream yet.
Yo, it's going crazy. Goodbye. Hello again.
This is going crazy.
You're not even touching anything.
No.
See, if we were filming on this, we wouldn't have that problem.
Is it still? It's still streaming.
It's still streaming, yeah.
It's jumping around though, right?
I think it just cut now. You wanna pull the plug on it?
Oh no. There we go.